Yes, guys, welcome to the next video. So now we're actually going to be getting into the different type of schematics from Wyckoff. And the first one that we're going to be looking at is accumulations. So there's two main types of accumulation schematics that you're going to be looking at. But before we get into that, let's actually look at the vocabulary that they use and also how to annotate your charts. So you've got phase A all the way to B, C, D, and E. Now, each phase has its own characteristics and is usually divided by this vertical line that you can see right here. So what happens is, as we get to a point of interest, and remember, like I said in the last lesson, we only use Wyckoff at certain points of interest on the lower time frame. A preliminary support occurs. So that could be just any weak low. Comes back up, price comes straight to the bottom to create our selling climax. So this is where most of the selling volume will start to, it'll start to top out. As soon as you get that automatic rally, it will be a deeper retracement, almost towards that PS. Now, the automatic, every single schematic is not going to be the same, but they're going to be quite similar in the way they look. But you'll be able to differentiate the different types of phases. Once you get that automatic rally, so you got the PS, SC automatic rally, you get the secondary test. So that secondary test has to be within the selling climax. So at that point, you're still in bearish structure. You still haven't got any kind of breaker structure at the top. You've simply just got the AR and the ST. So you're still within this range. Then you start to see a tiny breakout, but it's still within that range. So what you can usually do when this happens is you're going to get this range forming right now. So you can box this up where you've got the PS at the top, you've got SC, and that's what's happening so far. What you're going to see is this SC, as we know, creates sell side liquidity. So price comes deeper into the point of interest. So let's just say our point of interest is this big. We're on the lower time frames. It comes deeper into the point of interest to take out these lows, take that liquidity, and that's what we call ST in phase B. So that's the secondary test in phase B. Price comes back down. You would see consolidation for a while. Of course, this creates another set of sell side liquidity. Now, price starts to consolidate. What you may see happening is liquidity start to form at the top as well. However, this is not always the case because within a consolidation, price can be moving in all sorts of ways. Then eventually you're going to get this spring if it's accumulation schematic type 1. So what this means is that, again, this sell side liquidity is taken. You're very deep into the point of interest now, but what you want to see is this. You want to see the tests go up, 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 up. But the main point is this sign of strength. You want to see some kind of breaker structure up. Now, once you get that breaker structure up, what can you expect? We've now had a change of trend. So if we really and truly think about this, this is a simple understanding of market structure. Once you've had this break above, we can consider that as a break of structure. In Wyckoff, it's known as sign of strength. So it increases upwards. Then you've got your last point of supports. So what that is as you keep going up, you've got these tests, you've got clean order flow happening all the time, particularly near the tests around the bottom. It might be a bit hard to understand, is this a perfect accumulation schematic? But if you are getting into the trade at that point, what you're going to be seeing, especially after the spring, is some clean rejections off. So you might get something like this. Now, once you get that main SOS, or the significant break of structure is the other way I like to call it, your retracements back down, they're going to be quite minute. They might not go all the way back down because volume for the buys has started to increase, right? At that point. So why would it also make sense for you to get massive reactions or retracements back down to then go to buy up. Now, this is one thing that we start to look at in the later stages of my Wyckoff lessons, how to actually enter in phase D, because this right here is the most important bit by far, because this is first of all where you get your confirmation of breaker structure, and then your sniper trade of the last point of supply. That's what you want to be entering of. Anytime you enter phase A, you can't be entering. Phase B is manipulation and consolidation. So you're just going to get, you're going to enter some losing trades. Phase C is when you start to see the importance of phase D happening. So you could be getting in on these buys right here. Of course, they're more risky because you haven't got confirmation of that break of structure up. So moving on. This is type 1. The main difference is that sell side liquidity is actually taken by the spring. The spring is the most important bit right here. Once you see that spring, you're very deep into the order block, like I said. That spring will take that liquidity. So it will be a liquidity grab rather than a break of structure down. So what you may see is something like this. A small body, large wick, and it goes straight back up. And that's when you start to see bullish price action from there. Exactly in this case here. Then moving on, the second type, you've got this. You've got the ST right at the bottom, but rather than actually price breaking down and coming back up, price only hovers around within this consolidation area. This is the reason why I say try to avoid phase A is a no buy. There's no chance you're buying that. Phase B, try to not buy, because the thing that's quite hard to understand is how long does phase B go on for? Now, phase B is simply consolidation, so you can't exactly guess what time, how long, and for how much time you're going to be consolidating for. So that's the confusion that arises with that. When it comes to phase C, if you actually understand what's going on, you may be able to get into some trades. But how are you going to know that we're not going to see a spring? You might want to enter here, for example, you get stopped out. Hence why I don't trade phase B. Phase C, in this situation where there's no spring, is kind of a continuation of phase B. This is sort of interlinked because you don't get that spring. However, the issue that arises is you don't know when that spring is coming or not. In various types of Wyckoff schematics, you can't be guessing, oh, price is going to come here, so I'm going to enter on a limit and price will go up and that's when I'll enter. No, what you want to be doing is entering on the key phase, which is phase D right here, after you see that significant break of structure right there. That's exactly when you get your confirmation and when you can be entering. If you're entering around this stage, generally you're going to get stopped out because you don't know, okay, this order block looks valid, right? But how do I know I'm not going to get stopped out on a spring? Nobody can guess. Let's refer back to the composite man. Nobody can guess what he's going to do. So what we need to do is react to what we're seeing in the market and then take action and actually get into one of these trades right here, stop loss right at the bottom, and then boom. This using accumulations and distributions, it's one of the only ways I would say on the lower time frame to actually this and simple market structure is one of the ways to get high risk to reward trades. Because when you've got points of interest on the chart, for example, it might be a 1 hour, you're not going to be getting 5 pip stop losses from this, right? Because the whole order block may be a 25 pip range. However, it's when you go on the lower time frames, you see the reaction of Wyckoff happening at that time. That's when you can actually get in the moves, see that break of structure down, that market shift, and that's when you get into the trade. Sign of strength or whatever it may be, sign of weakness, you go down and then boom, start selling. So yeah, guys, that's it for accumulations. We're going to be moving on to distributions next. All right, take care.